Sure.
Next, I am going to call on a wonderful climate activist, wonderful young lady who is very, very much involved in climate action, SDG 13. Svan, you're next, darling.
Hello, and hi, Miss Allen.
Hi.
My name is Manfrida Moura, and I am a climate reality leader, part of the same chapter as Miss Allen here. And I'm also a representative from the New Jersey Student Sustainability Coalition, where I work on our Green Amendment campaign. To the legislators, I'm sure both of you have heard about the Green Amendment, which would add our environmental rights to our state constitution. And despite obviously being very pro-environmentalists, neither of you actually co-sponsor what I believe to be a very important bill. So I was wondering, what solutions would you propose, either instead of or to add to the Green Amendments to address the issues that the amendment is trying to respond to? Thank you.
Does Troy want to take that first, or shall I?
Go ahead, Bob. You're up.
I'm happy to.
All right. So here's where I am on the Green Amendment. The bill is Linda Greenstein's bill. I put it up in the first meeting of the Senate Environment Committee in any session. First meeting. It's voted out of committee. Then goes to the Senate Appropriations Committee. All right. And the problem that Linda has had with getting the bill passed is that there is not a majority of senators who are willing to support it. Now, if you ask me why, my guess is that there's a concern about unintended consequences. All right. For example, there's a situation in Hawaii where there's a controversy about building these huge telescopes. They're major scientific instruments. And I believe Hawaii has a Green Amendment in its state constitution. And as a matter of fact, when I was in Hawaii, there was a protest going on about the telescopes. My understanding is that the telescope to be built ended up not being built because of a Green Amendment issue. Now, the problem with it is there's not enough places in America. Pennsylvania is one, but there's not enough places in America where you have the Green Amendment and where there's been any serious experience with it. And that's why I think you get the doubt or the concern from senators that they may be creating a problem. Now, I will tell you this, that we've had requests to do NRA amendments. Now, the NRA amendments, that's the way I can categorize it, but what the amendment would say, it has nothing to do with the NRA, but it says that hunters have an absolute right to hunt in New Jersey in the Constitution. And I didn't sign on to that either, and to some other ones that are like that, because I think when you amend the Constitution, you better know what you're doing. All right. Now, I've amended the Constitution on two occasions, both related to open space. Initially setting up an allocation out of the corporate business tax for open space acquisition and farmland preservation and historic preservation. So there'd be money there, stable source of income. We re-amended it. We also amended it such that natural resource damages, Second Amendment to the Constitution, had to be dedicated to environmental projects in the area of the natural resource damages. You may remember Chris Christie and the Exxon settlement. I don't know how old everybody's memory is here, but natural resource damages were being used for purposes of an environmental purpose. They were used to fill the general fund. But what I'm saying is that when you go near the Constitution, you need a scalpel. And at the point where the Green Amendment demonstrates, has some history, that it's not going to be an unintended thing that's going to blow everybody up. And I don't know what that could be, but there's not a lot of experience with it. So I've done my amending of the Constitution, but only in cases where I absolutely knew what the end result was going to be. And
So
after
I'm gonna,
concerned, that's why I'm not a co-sponsor. On the other hand, I don't stop Linda. First bill up in the Senate session gets out of my committee, which is the committee that has jurisdiction. It then goes to appropriations, and it never sees the light of day.
Thanks, Senator. We have to give Troy a chance to respond to a little bit. Troy, do you want to
Yes,
respond?
and I first of all, I appreciate the question. I think Senator Smith did an excellent job of walking through a lot of the legality and legal issues that potentially are fraught with opening up our Constitution. I think for me, when I look at that legislation, I think subjectively on the premise of whether or not we support support the idea of a clean and healthy environment with the bill does the Senate, Constitutional Senate SCR 30 is the Green Amendment bill. What is a concurrent resolution? When it talks about a healthy and clean environment and having a right to that and a right to pure water and clean water, I 100% support all that and have been demonstrated by the legislative actions that I've taken, which I talked about in the beginning, and many have been successful in partnership with Senator Smith. The question that you have with this Green Amendment, there's a level of subjectivity of one particular part of it that I'm hopeful that someone can give me some clarity on that I've yet to get right now. And it's this conversation around that the state shall not infringe upon these rights, all the rights that we talked about, the right to clean water by action or inaction. And by action is very clear to me, but by inaction talks about other sort of proposals that are right now not designed or haven't been materialized and what that entails. So I think we're better served being intentional with addressing statutory law and making better and more consistent statutory law that is consistent with being environmentally protective of New Jersey. I'm open to the discussion on the Green Amendment. I just think that subjectivity gives me a great deal of pause, and I'm hopeful that we can have some further dialogue on it. But I'm not close to it. There's a lot of bills that I don't co-sponsor that I vote for, and frankly, the overwhelming majority of bills I'm not co-sponsors of, but I vote for. So I don't close the door to seeing that. But that subjectivity does give me a bit of a concern.
All right, thanks a lot.